No testers, no problem. These are 10 appealing, safe and inoffensive fresh summer fragrances that are somehow blind buy approved. I don't like blind buys, but if you have no testers, these are 10 of the best to blind buy. Without any further ado, I want to start by House of Tom Ford. I have here at number 10 Neroli Portofino, which is a fresh, a bit old school and soapy green type of fragrance. We have here bergamot as a prominent note. It is very fresh and crisp, and fragrance is a little bit like herbal green and has some sort of very clean soapiness to it. How can it be a no for you if you have not a tester? First, price, it is expensive. Second, maybe because of performance. I can get like max 5 hours in terms of longevity on my skin with first hour average to below average type of projection and sillage, a very expensive smelling fragrance for indoor situations. And then it is a mature fragrance. It has a, let's say, solid age factor to it. If you are like in your 20s, it is definitely a no for you in my opinion. The rest is okay. So because of that age factor, performance and price can be a no for you. The rest is 10 out of 10. Coming in number 9, let's continue by House of Chanel here. If I make a video top 5 most complimented fragrances by women, or top 5 the most lady pleaser fragrances in my collection, this fragrance will be definitely in that video. Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche, which is one of the yummiest fragrances in my collection. Wow, this great atomizer. Definitely has that yummy mouth-watering vibe to it, very crisp, lemony at the opening, and it is like creamy. Let's say to this one, creamy vanilla lemon flavored ice cream. Ladies love this fragrance. Performance lasts on me 5 hours plus 6 max in terms of longevity on my skin with first hour and a half, let's say average to below average soft, very close to your skin type of projection and sillage. One of those sexy fragrances for extremely hot summer days and extremely close encounters, let's say to this one. Why this one can be a no for you? A little bit it is salty, pricey maybe, but that performance could be make this one a no for you. If you are into strong lasting fragrances, this is not that, I have to say. But if you are into sexy and moderate projecting, close to your skin projecting type of fragrances that are extremely lady pleaser, this is definitely a must try for you. Allure Homme Edition Blanche. Number 8 is from House of Mancera. I know this house is a big no for blind buys, has ton of very daring fragrances, but this one is the safest one in this house, and it is also a safe fragrance compared to most of designer fragrances, I can say. I'm talking about Melody of the Sun. Let's remember it again. Great atomizer. It is a very inoffensive, polite, citrusy, like silky, smooth type of fragrance with a very soft, very woodiness to it. And it is musky. Musky is much more prominent compared to that woody notes. And let's say this one citrusy, musky, then woody. Lasts on me like solid 8 to 10 hours plus in terms of longevity, and projection and sillage is noticeable, but in a very smooth and inoffensive, transparent way. I can get like 2-3 hours solid projection and sillage with this one. After 2-3 hours gets like a bit like woody, let's say like ISOE Super E. If you are familiar with eccentric molecules fragrances, this projects like molecule O2 after first 2-3 hours, gets like soft woody. So how can it be a no for you? I would say if you are into very masculine fragrances, this one can be a no for you. It is a bit unisex, in that unisex and not a feminine fragrance, but it is a perfectly unisex fragrance in my opinion. The rest is 10 out of 10. Number 7 is a cheap fragrance, but it is definitely in that lady pleaser complimented league, hands down. I'm talking about Montblanc Legend Spirit, which I like it. It is very crisp, very appealing, very inoffensive and fresh type of fragrance. It is like citrusy, aquatic with added sweetness to it. So I can get like 4-5 hours plus longevity with this one. Older batches were better, I have to say. This one is like 4 or 5 hours max in terms of longevity on my skin, on the clothing like 8-10 hours, and projection and sillage is average, soft for first hour and a half. How can it be a no for you? If you are into strong fragrances, loud projecting fragrances, this is a no for you. If you don't like added sweetness to citrusy fragrances, this can be a no for you. The rest is, in my opinion, very safe and definitely blind buy worthy fragrance. Number 6 is one of the longest lasting citrusy fragrances, fresh fragrances in my collection, coming in from house of Dior, Dior Homme Sport. Let's remember it again, like always, great Dior atomizer. Okay, it is different compared to like 95% of other fresh fragrances in my collection. I like that mature accent of this fragrance, has some roots way at the background of the fragrance in 80s, like those fougere fragrances, green fragrances, but way at the background, not as a prominent note, but has that 80s stance. Then fragrance is citrusy, fresh, and slightly powdery. In terms of longevity, I can get like 8 to 10 hours plus solid longevity on my skin with this one, with 2-3 hours of good projection and sillage. Lasting and strong, fresh citrusy fragrance. How can it be a no for you if you are not into mature fragrances and if you don't like powdery notes? It's not very powdery type of fragrance, too powdery, but you can get that powderiness, which is a must in your own line, let's say. Now we are at top 5. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet and you find value in my videos, please remember to subscribe and support me by your likes. I really appreciate that. Number 5 is Manwood Neroli from House of Bvlgari. By the way, we have also a web shop. If you are into fragrances that you cannot find, decants and Middle Eastern fragrances, you can check out our store. So Manwood Neroli is locked. Actually, you can like this atomizer, I like it. So reminds me of this fragrance, but stronger and more aquatic. Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford has that vibe to it. Immediately reminds me of this fragrance, I have to say, but has some sort of aquaticness to it. I like this one better at some points. Lasts longer. I can get like 5-6 hours, up to 7 hours max longevity with this one. With first hour and a half, good projection and sillage. Projects better compared to the Tom Ford one. So like that fragrance, it is mature but less mature compared to Tom Ford Neroli Portofino. Shares definitely big similarities with that fragrance. Remember it again. It is aquatic and more crisp, has more zesty vibe to it. I like it. It is fresher even compared to this one. It is like fresh, green and aquatic type of fragrance. How can it be a no for you? Because of a little bit that mature vibe maybe. And if you are not into aquatic fragrances, you won't enjoy this one. Number 4 is pretty new in my collection, but I really like it and I believe it is a safe blind buy worthy fragrance from House of Versace. Versace Eros Energy. One of the citrusiest fragrances in my collection. How they could put this much citrusy notes in one bottle, I have to say to you. Like bergamot, mandarin orange, orange zest, and candied oranges also. It's like orangey, citrusy, zesty. I can pick bergamot orange and mandarin orange, and also orange zest, and also candied orange. Very complex orangey fragrance, and gets like woody in the dry down and soft woody, let's say, but still you can get that candied orangey vibe. Not those fresh citrusy notes, but candied orangey notes and woody notes are available in the dry down of the fragrance. Lasts on me solid 8 hours plus. Projection and sillage is good for first hour and a half. Gets compliments. So how can it be a no for you? I would say if you are tired of Aventus DNA, Creed Aventus DNA, which is like touchable here, not exactly like that fragrance, not a cologne, but it is inspired, in my opinion, by that fragrance. If you are tired of Aventus-ish fragrances, then this is not for you. The rest is, in my opinion, a 10 out of 10 must-have citrusy fresh fragrance. Number 3 is also a pretty new fragrance in my collection. It is new, but it is not new. Let's say why. It is from House of Paco Rabanne, Invictus Aqua 2024 version, because at some points they brought back 2016 version. That's why it is not new, but it is not exactly on the identical. Reminds me of such a great memories. So aquatic, floral, inoffensive, polite, happy, summer in a bottle. lasts like 6-7 hours plus on me. This one, the 2016 version was longer lasting compared to this one, but not wow big time. Was like 8 hours plus on my skin, which is not possible with this one, to be honest. And that one I remember was salty, but I cannot get that salty vibe here. Maybe it is me. It is only aquatic, sweet, bubblegummy, floral, fruity, not salty for me. So how can it be a no for you if you are into very masculine fragrances? Maybe this is a bit in that youthful side, in that happy side. But I believe if you are not too picky, this is one of those must-have fragrances in a man's collection, as it is extremely appealing, complimenting, lady pleaser, and inoffensive fragrance. Number 2 is one of those must-have fragrances in any man's collection. Sorry, I am still struggling with the cold that I had. Wow, my tea tastes like Invictus Aqua. I think when I spray they come to my tea. Anyways, so one of those must-have fragrances, comprehensive fragrances in a man's collection is Acqua Di Gio Profondo by Giorgio Armani. Why it is comprehensive? Because look at this, man. It is like youthful yet mature. It is like dressed up, also casual. That's why I believe it is a very comprehensive fragrance. Covers lots of factors. It is a very complimentary fragrance, has a very memorable character, and stands out compared to most of fresh fragrances because it is not too citrusy, and because of mastic note, which is not available in most of, let's say, aquatic fragrances, citrusy fragrances. That mastic note makes this fragrance stand out, in my opinion. It is very youthful, modern, and lasting fragrance. And number 1 for me, this is an unbeatable fragrance when it comes to the fresh, complimentary, safe fragrances. I can't put any fragrance over this one easily, as it is very safe, appealing, complimenting, and sexy. I'm talking about Aventus Cologne from House of Creed. One of the best openings in the entire universe, believe me. It is like crisp, citrusy, classy, extremely luxury, expensive opening, quality, smells like quality in a bottle, let's say, to this one. And gets woodier, has that Aventus smoky DNA way at the background. It is less smoky compared to regular Aventus, but gives you that feel. But it is like 70-80% in that fresh, crisp side. So I can get like 7-8 hours plus longevity with this one on my skin, with first hour and a half, average to good type of projection and sillage. It is definitely stronger compared to current batches of regular Aventus. How can it be a no for you? If you are broken in 2 meanings, financially or mentally, if you have your problem, this fragrance can be a no for you. I can't find any reason, because yeah, it is expensive, but it is extremely safe and appealing, and there is not any great cologne around this DNA. It is, but they don't last. They last like 1-2 hours. So I believe this is one of those unbeatable, must-have, blind buy worthy fresh fragrances that gets solid compliments. Take care, guys.